Hello and welcome to Super Northwest. Today we've come to Latchford Locks, which is just outside Warrington in the UK. Now, on one of my previous videos I mentioned the captured German U-boats which were captured by the Royal Navy and paraded up the canal. But one of my subscribers has tipped me off and he told me that they weren't the only submarines to be floated up the canal. Now, apparently in the 1960s the Royal Navy paraded some A-class or amphibian class submarines right up the canal into Manchester. Now, they were parked up at this locks where I am today. One of my subscribers put me onto a website called Warrington Worldwide. Now, on this website there's photographs taken by a local photographer called Eddie Whittam. Now, Eddie took some snaps of these submarines. And I just wonder, what was the Royal Navy doing sending up 3 A-class submarines into these locks and up the canal? So we're going to do like a little bit of an investigation today. So first of all, we're going to take a look at the locks where these photographs were taken. First of all, let's go and have a little look at the entrance to the lock. Seems to be some controls. Not sure whether these are still used. Now, one part of the lock is constantly open. Now, I believe this was damaged by a ship a short while back. Now, you can see how big the locks are. You can see why it would accommodate large submarines. Now, apparently there was only 2 at a time allowed in. These locks were opened in 1894 to coincide with the opening of the ship canal. There's a large chamber for ocean-going ships where the submarines were parked up. And then on the other side we've got a small chamber for tugs and coasters. And then next to the small chamber is a sluice used to control the flow of water. So all these old lock houses or huts, they're all closed up now. It must have been a very busy place in its day, this. The old signs there, no animals from abroad may be landed. Now, I've just noticed some massive concrete blocks. Obviously they must be like some kind of weight mechanism to bring the gates up to let the water out, so let's go and take a look. I can't get in because it's all locked up. So that's Latchford Locks. I hope you enjoyed it. The main question is, why did the Royal Navy send 3 A-class submarines up into this canal? Now, the official reason was they were just flying the flag for the UK. The 3 submarines that were sailed into the canal were named as HMS Alliance, HMS Tiptoe and HMS Alcide. Now, Alliance can still be seen today at the Royal Navy Submarine Museum, Gosport. The submarines were designed for long range, comfort for the crew and high surface speed, and these boats were fitted with snort masts around the late 40s. The mast was designed to expel bad air and intake fresh air, vital for the crew and the engines. Now, as you can see, the dome at the front is the sonar. But not far from here there's a place called Baronet Works, and there was a chemical factory called Laporte Chemicals. Now, they used to make hydrogen peroxide. Now, there was a German scientist who invented full high peroxide, and what this was, it was concentrated. Full high test hydrogen peroxide was known to have been used in torpedo systems. Hydrogen peroxide is commonly known to us as bleach, but in the 1920s, German rocket scientist Helmuth Walter found a way to ignite the gases from highly concentrated hydrogen peroxide using a catalyst. Now, the more concentrated it was, the hotter it got. The chemical would break down into oxygen and steam at high temperature. It was then injected with another fuel, causing the hot mixture of gases to ignite and give large amounts of power. The fuel was used in the first rocket-powered Nazi fighter plane, the Messerschmitt Me-163 Comet. On one test run, it ignited one of the fuel lines and vaporised the pilot. Now, this brings us back to our story, as it was also used in these Royal Navy submarines on board the torpedoes. So I've managed to get down to Baronet Works just to have a little look at what this place actually is. Looks like a modern day chemical factory still, but it's under a different name today. So I'm going to take a walk down and see what we can find out. More graffiti. This is starting to follow me around, this graffiti now. I'm getting worried. So I've discovered something really interesting at the side of this factory. Let's go and take a look. So there's a long path that runs along the side of this factory, and it leads out into something that looks like a small dock. Now, could this be the dock where the submarines used to pull up to be fueled up with this chemical? I don't know. If you know anything more than me, please leave a note in the comments. So as you can see, the canal runs right alongside this chemical factory. Just noticed at the top of these ramps there's some rollers. Now, was this for lifting equipment, cables and things like that? So there's one on either side. So it looks like these submarines weren't just here to fly the flag. If you look at this next photograph, we can see the submarine crew getting a tour of the factory. And then in the next shot, we've got a guy cleaning out his tanker, but if you have a look closely in the background, we've got 3 railway tankers. Now I believe these were confiscated from the Germans after the Second World War, and they were used to transport high-test peroxide, and I believe this was also used in the V1 and V2 rockets. So I'll let you make your own minds up as to why these submarines were actually here. I'm going to leave you with some footage now of the local area. So thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.